So now you've broken off the stuff your vendor can do in their sleep. You put that in the fixed price contract, and you're leaving the more creative or unknown work to a time and materials contract. So should you just put objectives and high-level scope in the T&M contract and leave it at that? Unfortunately, most do. Though it's probably not the most agile thing to say. I think you need to be very clear about the level of experience of the folks the vendor is bringing to be on your team, with some flexibility, of course. Many agile hardliners have gotten a little carried away with cross-functionality, I think, often to the point of thinking that everybody on the team can do each other's jobs. Well, they can't. And even outside of the agile community, if they've never heard of cross-functionality, hiring teams often just look for attitude, assuming they can train them once they hit the ground. Now, this isn't the case when you're working with T&M resources. If you need somebody that knows Java and they've never coded a line of Java, that's a problem. You can pay them to learn it, of course, but it's on your dime. When you review the resumes of the resources your vendor is recommending, and you should review them, it's easy to cut the wheat from the chaff. You can see very quickly who has invested in their skills over a long period of time. You still need to interview them, even if they're coming on from a large respected vendor that you've worked with multiple times. I'm a big fan of having 2 or 3 in-person interviews, with each interview focused on something a little different, maybe culture, functional skills, management capabilities, or whatever is important for you. Believe it or not, I work in companies where people have been on staff or from external vendors for years underperforming, and nobody has said anything. Nobody has been very clear about what they're going to review, how long they have to fix it, and then how long they have to terminate if things are not going well. So be clear about the baseline skills you need from your vendor. Interview the resources, give them a functional test, make sure teams and individuals have resources and direction they need to be successful, but be clear they'll need to perform if they want to stay on the team. Though I used to be an attorney, this is not legal advice. Work with your attorney to craft your individual T&M contracts with your vendors that make sense against the scope and the timeline that you've got. Thanks very much. I'll see you next week.